Dawson's Rentals.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Big news day for Power Rangers. We have our official opening for Cosmic Fury, and as a result, obviously we get a listen at the theme. There's also lots of little details within the opening to talk about for the series, and there was also official confirmation that David Yost is back for the series. This has been something that's been known for a long time, really. It was basically mostly confirmed in regards to rumors for quite some time now, and it was even rumored as far back as when we were getting rumors about a Zenkaiger adaptation of some sort. So it's finally officially confirmed with pictures and everything. I'm going to talk a little bit about that at first, and then we'll dive into the theme. But yeah, it's confirmed. Not only is he back, but it's not for like 1 or 2 episodes. It's as a series regular. He's even in the opening sequence. We get some pictures of the cast together. Like, of course, you have the first one with Billy in the front and center without Ollie in it, which, like, there's a lot of stuff in the news today that, like, furthers the rumors about evil Ollie, because the rumor is Ollie's going to turn evil for most of the season. And there's multiple pieces of evidence that suggest this, including this picture. So, you know, a lot of the pictures aren't too different from what we've already seen, which is the Rangers helmetless in their new base ship, and this one just has Billy with them. There's also a picture of the Rangers in their sort of civilian outfits, which all of them look pretty cool. Like, Amelia's got this cool new red jacket, but Ion looks like he's just totally chill in his pajamas. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see that a little bit, and a little bit of a glimpse of what their civilian outfits will look like post-Cosmic Fury powers. And they just talk a little bit about his return, like, you know, of course, his monumental return, it makes sense to return, yada yada. You know, Billy is going to be instrumental in helping them because of his expertise and as a mentor figure, wanting to stop, you know, Lord Zed and them undoing all the progress the Mighty Morphin Rangers did, or the Mighty Morphin Rangers started and the Space Rangers finished. And then there is an interesting tidbit about them saying that this was planned before Once and Always, which we know now is true because recently Simon Bennett answered on Twitter that, because people were talking about how last minute Cosmic Fury is, and even though it feels like it was you know, more spur of the moment, I guess Cosmic Fury was planned way before Once and Once and Always was actually the thing that was put together quicker. So there's not going to be as many connections in this, and they even said, like, there's not going to be a connection between them. They were asked to not do that, which seems stupid. Like, I can see why they wouldn't want to do it, like, when Once and Always, and maybe that's what they mean. Like, I mentioned in that review that I can see maybe not wanting to confuse the casual viewers. But for this, I don't know, like, I feel like if they don't mention certain things, it's going to seem awkward. At the very least, it seemed like they had the thought to set Billy up going to space, but that just seems weird. Like, again, I get not wanting to confuse people, but I feel like Power Rangers is constantly getting in its own way with rules it makes up. But regardless, that was kind of interesting. And then they just talk about how they're going to need a new fleet of Zords to face Lord Zed, find the Cosmic Orbs to get new outfits, which I'm glad the way that's phrased, because part of me was worried that they're going to be like power-ups, which maybe they will be, which I don't necessarily think so, but that's only based off the opening theme. But yeah, officially confirmed, that's all neat. And then we get the theme song here. I have the video here I want to skim through so I don't forget anything. So we start off actually with the shot of them from the end of Dino Fury, as there's actually a lot of Dino Fury suits in this, and we have a look at Lord Zed. We have a look at Lord Zed several times in this, and maybe it's just me, but this looks like a new version of the suit. It's still like a little bulkier than the original, like around the chest, but it looks like a little more streamlined. It almost looks even a little bit better. Again, it could just be me. What's interesting is when you get to the opening sequence, when you have the title cards for everybody, it's like old style, like it's not switched over yet to Amelia as red, stuff like that. It has still Zato as red, Amelia as pink, so on and so forth, except the difference being the footage. Notably, the footage features footage from Cosmic Fury of them battling in the Dino Fury suits, and Zato battling in that White Ranger-esque suit from the end, which I'm really happy about, because I actually kind of dug that suit. Like, it looked a little cheaper, but I liked the design of it, and I'm glad we're going to get to see it a little bit. So it looks like there's going to be a couple battles in the beginning of them fighting with these suits, and that they have that. I imagine they'll change it, though, because especially since they make such a big deal about Amelia being red, I imagine, like, after a couple episodes, once they get their suits, they'll change it to update it. It just does seem weird that they're doing that. I guess maybe they have this for the first episode because they don't want it to be a spoiler, even though the imagery is everywhere. So, I don't know. That's kind of weird. But regardless, it's kind of interesting because within this footage, you get a kind of some maybe hints at what's going to be happening. A lot of the footage looks like it takes place in like a quarry battle, which looks like it could be just from the tint, although the tint could be from the opening sequence. It could be from like an alien planet, and it looks like Billy is there too. And then there's a couple ones, I think like in Ions, that show them in like a wooded area, which looks like it's outside of Dino Henge. So I'm going to maybe predict that there's a fight like right outside of Dino Henge before they leave. Maybe that's when like Fern tags along. And then there's going to be some sort of big battle within the first episode, which is when they either like get their powers damaged, lose their powers, or just realize they need an upgrade in this battle. And within this battle, in these various shots in the opening, you get to see these new-looking henchmen, which looks like they might be wearing a version of that giant Lord Zed mecha helmet we saw. Maybe not exactly, but I think that's going to be related to this. The henchmen actually look pretty cool, so I'm thinking that that helmet and these henchmen might be related to Lord Zed's like new fleet of warriors, and they have these little octopus symbols on their chests, and that might be related to these new villains we also see. Of course, we also have a look at Fern in the opening sequence now, which she's done up in purple in regards to her shading, but supposedly she's supposed to be orange based off not only the rumors but the morpher, so I'm gonna guess this is just a placeholder until she becomes orange. And I get with this them not wanting to reveal it yet because they haven't formally revealed the Orange Ranger's suit. But so yeah, she's officially part of the cast. We have her there. Her little like footage on the side is her like observing something. It looks like she's almost wearing like alien clothing or something, so I imagine that this is maybe when she's traveling with them right before she becomes a ranger. And like I said, Billy is in the opening sequence, and actually, like, you see him at this battle, so I'm presuming he's participating. Well, obviously he is. That was a dumb thing to say. And then there's also one of him in the city, or a city, which is interesting. And as mentioned, there's some new villains here. Looks like original designs. You know, I don't remember these guys from Sentai at all if they were in there, but I really quite like the look of them. They look really creative and cool, especially like the one in the background, the kind of white and blue one, almost looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster or something, but they look to be working with Lord Zed, and you can see them with him. And again, the Lord Zed suit just looks kind of different. Like, it looks like it was streamlined a little bit. Now, most notably, we also get a look at some of the Cosmic Fury's Zord stuff. Probably most notably, some of the cockpit alignments. There's been a lot of discussion about who's going to be piloting what Zord based off of Q Ranger. We get 4 confirmations. We have Ion piloting the Shark Zord, which, you know, yellow, gold, whatever. I guess it's kind of close together, but would make sense what a lot of people predicted, especially since our Gold Ranger suits are so dull. And then we, of course, have Chameleon with Green Ranger, and then Amelia, still wearing her Pink Ranger suit, is piloting the Lion Zord. And then you actually have Billy piloting the Wolf Zord. Again, further evidence about Evil Ollie that he'll be piloting this, which, and I don't know if this was intentional, but definitely remind you of the fact that he piloted the Wolf Zord in MMPR Season 3. But that's really cool. It's interesting that they're in their regular Dino Fury suits. Like, that's why I was worried that this cosmic power was maybe going to be like a power-up, that they stay in these base suits and then morph. I don't think that's going to happen just because of a big deal they're making about Amelia being red, but I'll be curious to see how the timeline of this goes down. Like, maybe as soon as they get in these cockpits, that's when the Cosmic Fury powers happen. But although it seems like Billy will probably be staying in MMPR Blue's outfit the whole time, so I don't know. Anyway, then a couple shots of what I think this is just Q Ranger footage of the mecha, and it looks like we're using most of the core Q Ranger fleet. Like, you have the main Megazord, you got Gold, the Silver, the Shark Zord, and the whatever the Pink Bird Zord is on the side, and then he's using blue, green, and black, and then you have orange. And so orange will probably be piloted by Fern. But I'm going to imagine that, you know, obviously with some of them, they're clearly lining it up, green with green, red with red, you know, again, Fern presumably with orange. I could see Ion maybe piloting golds. It looks like it might fit in with that idea, or silvers, who knows. Either of those I think could fit that sort of beigeish color. But I also think, you know, a lot of people have been like trying to fill out like who are these going to be piloted by, and there is supposedly more returning characters that they even talk about in the article, so it's maybe possible some of those returning characters could pilot these Zords. However, I also still feel like they might just treat it as like an auxiliary fleet, where you have like core Zords they pilot, like Amelia piloting red, but then like something like Pink, or, you know, let's say that Ion pilots gold and silver is just like an auxiliary, and they just treat it like that. You know, I could totally see them doing that. But it confirms at least most of the core fleet of Q-Reno. And as of this opening, none of the other mecha. I'm honestly almost thinking we might just see them only use Q-Reno's system, and we might not see any of the others. Who knows? Although I feel like the Orion mecha would be perfect for Zato to pilot. And I believe that is it. We also obviously have a listen at the theme song, which is very much, you know, based off of Cosmic Fury. Oh, also there is, I'm just skimming through to make sure I didn't forget anything, and there is like a villain in the background in one of the fights. You can see it's like Lord Zed and has a villain by his side with a henchman. I don't recognize it, but it's possible it's from some Sentai. So if you, I'll try to put a picture up on screen. If you recognize it, let me know. But anyway, the theme song. It's clearly very much based off of sort of, you know, Dino Furies, but it's different. It doesn't have the Go-Go Power Rangers forced in there. It's very much like on the same wavelength. I do like it. It feels a little bit busy and clunky. Like I can hardly understand what they're saying. At one point I feel like it says, "My boyfriend is space." I don't know, like it's weird. Like it's really fast. It's not my favorite, but at the very least, I'm very happy it's not Go-Go Power Rangers, because I figured especially for like the final season they would want to do Go-Go Power Rangers. So I'm actually really happy that it's fully original. And I don't dislike it, it's very busy and very fast. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff in this, guys. Like I said, I assumed we would see the Dino Fury suits, you know, at the very beginning, but I didn't expect to see them. They're prominently featured in this. Like even the last couple shots after the Megazord, there's just some shots of just the Dino Fury suits. So like I said, I expected to see them, but I didn't expect to see them so much and to see them like in the cockpits and stuff. It makes me wonder how the power stuff is going to go down, whether it's going to be like, oh, the powers are damaged and like the cosmic powers repair them, or they're actually destroyed, but because they're linking to the Dino Henge source, like I don't know. I'd be really curious about that, you know, because I was imagining a scenario where as soon as they enter these cockpits in this shot, that they're like all of a sudden their suits transform, but then like wooden Billies, and maybe there's a chance there's an original cosmic Billy suit we haven't seen. Again, that's just random speculation, but that's very interesting. I'm liking the looks of the original villains. I think that'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be neat that we're going to be seeing a lot of original villains in this, presumably. And also, there's supposedly going to be different Sentai monsters. I think we saw that behind the scenes. There was a Sentai monster from, I think it was Bangle from Zyuohger. So I'm very interested to see that. Again, interesting choice. The title cards only feature the Dino Fury suits. It definitely feels like one of those things where, you know, you'll see that especially in older series, you know, from the 2000s and the 90s, where they don't want to spoil something before they update it, but it does just seem weird because, like, all the imagery is everywhere. But I imagine that they'll update the opening theme after a few episodes, where they'll put Fern with her Orange Ranger stuff, and then all the respective Rangers with their other colors. I am glad, like I said, we're going to get to see the White Ranger Zato suit a little bit, because I really did like that. But yeah, this is exciting. I'm actually pretty excited for this. I think this is going to be really interesting. I know there's been a lot of negative stuff about Cosmic Fury, people already saying it's awful before it even happens, but I think it's going to be fun. I'll be interested to see when we finally get the first trailer. But what did you guys think of the look of what we got here? What do you think of Billy's return? What do you think of the theme? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.